the matter? You thief or something?
Incoming transmission. Accessing database. Identification acquired. Welcome back, user. Nerd Confessions will begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Nerd Confessions, our safe haven where we discuss our thoughts and opinions on everything nerdy, geeky, techie, and whatever. It's been a week since our last confession, but before we jump right into it, we'd like to remind our listeners that you can follow us on our various social media platforms, find previous episodes, and view bonus content on our website, nerdconfessions.net. I'm Tommy, the moderator for this episode, and I'm joined today by Sohail.
Hey.
William.
Hey.
Ellie.
Hi.
And in this episode, we will be talking about our 5 most recent nerd news topics that are important to us. King Kong and Logan. Stick around until the end of the episode to hear some of our listener confessions. If you want to send us a confession, you can email us at contact@nerdconfessions.net or send us a tweet. So for starters, let's see what everybody's been up to this week. Sohail, what have you been up to?
Zelda Breath of the Wild. Just been looking at that screen pretty much all the time I've been off, but I also watched the movies with you guys. Watched Logan, King Kong, and I also watched One Punch Man, one episode of it. Find it really weird.
Oh, it's so good. Keep watching.
Does it get better?
Oh, hell yes.
The first episode was kind of weird.
It's weird at first, but it gets really good.
Yeah. I also watched 007 Spectre. Finished it, actually, because I couldn't finish it. It was boring to me.
Is that the one where...
It's the one where he has Christopher Waltz is the main bad guy.
Finished it because you couldn't.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet.
I couldn't finish it. It was so bad, and I watched it half of it,
So
and then I watched
finished
the
it
second
later.
half.
I see.
Yeah, and it's not really bad. It's not entertaining for me. And then other than that, yeah, I've been hunting for a case for my Switch, and I finally found one.
Yeah.
Today.
There you go.
So let me show it off if I can. Here we go. It's a pretty cool case.
Mine's still better.
I like mine, but yours has better protection.
Mine's probably the best thing.
Mine has a hard shell.
I like how these all have a spot for so many
it
of the
has
things.
color, has design. It's pretty.
Yeah, but Sohail's is
It's
definitely more
just cool
protected, and
stuff.
I'm worried that these games are going to fall out from these little
But
elastic rubber bands.
If you want to look at my case real quick, watch this. Opens up, Switch comes out, and then what else comes
And
out?
now all the other shit inside.
Beautiful case holder for my games that has a Switch logo on it. So
I'll buy you a better one, William.
no, it's good. I like it.
And the arms race is on.
They're good. They're all good. All of the cases are good. I mean, honestly, with the time they had to make all these cases, I'm surprised they were able to make such good cases. Anyway, I'm done talking. Ellie.
Hi.
What'd you do this week?
Not much.
Not surprised.
Other than Zelda,
I'm just kidding. Yeah, Zelda. Still playing Zelda. And then the movies with you guys. So Logan and King Kong. That's all I've been doing.
those are tiny little cases.
This case is made for tiny SD cards.
That
if
tastes really bad.
No, wait. This doesn't take SD cards.
No, these are for the micro
those are SD
SDs.
cards?
Micro
What the
SD case.
It looks
They
like
made
it's
the
for the Switch.
games.
Oh yeah, there's 2 spots.
Yeah.
So, Ellie, what else did you do?
That's
Wow.
it. That's it. I just watched those 2 movies and I've been playing.
You're
nonstop.
crazy watching movies.
I know, crazy.
Wow.
You're so wild.
Will, what have you been up to?
Well, I played Zelda Breath of the Wild. I played a little bit more Zelda Breath of the Wild. I played some more Zelda Breath of the Wild. And then I watched Logan and King Kong with you guys. I went to Tiki Makiki this weekend.
Oh, yeah, that happened.
And that was a lot of fun.
You want to explain
picked
what
up-
that is? Because that's weird.
Oh, it's a tiki market at Don the Beachcomber in Southern California. And it's like a tiki bar place. It's kind of cool. I have a lot of tiki stuff for sale. And I got a little treasure.
You want to show it to us? What is it?
Oh, God.
Can I see your treasure?
Don't hurt it.
It's like a Hello Kitty
It's a cat.
tiki cat thing. and it has a little bobbling head.
Listen, it is the creepiest shit you'll ever see.
It's from Smokin' Tiki's guy. I look up his thing because I don't know what his phone number address is. I don't have his card with me.
Don't break its head.
But he makes some cheap tikis. He also made a really cool stormtrooper head. That's $400. But
That's cool.
If you're just hearing
Not
this
the
and you're not
cat.
able to watch our YouTube video, it's a wooden cat that looks like it's made out of beech wood that looks like a Hello
looks like
Kitty,
Hello Kitty.
but in tiki form.
Looks
Yeah.
like some straight up
We'll put a picture up on the podcast.
Simone
Hula skirt
looking
too.
designs.
Okie dokie.
All right. What else did you do, Will?
Overclocked the computer finally. I was about to say fucking computer. But
All
now
right.
that it's working, I'm happy with it. So
Frustration is gone.
That's cool.
there'll be a video with more details on that later. But I'll just say it was a pain in the butt.
Sweet. Well, I watched King Kong with you guys,
You did?
and I saw Logan with Pedram since you guys already saw it before I did. Watched a bunch of anime, and that's it. Ironically, I didn't play Zelda yet. Everything's ready to go. I'm like afraid to play it.
Why?
I'm afraid I'm gonna get really addicted, and then
Yep.
I'm
Come
never.
on.
I mean,
It'll
you
override
guys
your
are
other
like-
addictions.
You'll be surprised. The first time you find your first secret, it's going to be really fun.
Sounds fun.
Wow. But yeah, I mean, I didn't really do much. I mean, yeah. Shit, that's all I got.
You gotta get your hands onto Zelda. You're gonna like it because it's a puzzle game, and I still stand by my 10 for 10 score. The game is awesome.
So far, I agree. It's still, I loved Horizon Zero Dawn, but I'm still haven't touched it since I started playing Zelda.
Same.
So you bought it, but you haven't touched it?
No, we like.
No,
played
they
it.
played
I
it.
played as much as
And
I
we
could
let it
before
go.
Zelda came out, but since Zelda is actually, I have the Switch and everything, I have just been playing Zelda. I haven't gone back to Horizon Zero Dawn yet.
It's not because Horizon sucks. It's just that Zelda's storyline just sucks you in because you know the characters are developed in the previous game series.
And the game and the gameplay itself, and like you're always looking for that next good weapon, that next secret, that next upgrade.
Yep.
With Horizon Zero Dawn has all that too, and a big open, expansive, great-looking world. But I don't know, it's just not sucking me in as much as Zelda.
Would you think the game would? Sorry, I'm just cutting. But do you think the game would be more fun if it had like Nintendo Switch had trophies?
Yes, it would, because I would
Because
be
then
able
they give
to-
Will an excuse to get platinums.
Because games I love like that, I like to go through and
Destroy it all.
get my little accomplishments done, so I can have something on my account that says,
that
"Oh, look at
OCD?
these games I played that I like and everything I achieved in them."
It's just to make.
You know, it's just something
feel-
like I can go back and say, "Oh, look at all these games I played."
Like,
That's all
if you
it
play a
is.
game, does it upset you if you don't get like every...
No, basically, look at it this way. So people like to go to websites and catalog all the games they own, right?
No.
What? No.
Yeah, like they'll have a game collection or some sort of thing that
I
they're
see that,
collecting.
but I don't.
Like, say somebody wants to collect all the games for the original Xbox. Part of what they do is they go online and have this little database of all the games, and they also arrange them by order and everything. So this is basically my
That's a
way
little crazy.
of going back and looking at all,
It's a lazy
not
way
only-
of cataloging.
not only the games that I have, but also what I've accomplished in them.
So it's OCD then.
I wouldn't call it OCD. I don't have to have all the trophies, but like
Does
if
it-
I really
does-
love the
like, do
game,
you lose
I
sleep?
will go through them. And I don't lose sleep over it.
You sure?
Yeah. I didn't
He
get all the
does
For
lose
Honor
sleep.
trophies, but I'm not going to lose sleep
No,
on
no, no.
that.
You do lose sleep. Like you will not stop.
Well, I won't.
Playing
I won't stop
until-
playing the game if I like it, but the trophies
no,
don't have
no.
nothing to do with that.
Okay, okay. but just
Can't
tell
stop,
me.
won't stop.
All right. Well, moving on.
Okay.
What did you do?
News of the week.
News of the week.
News of the week.
All right. So, let's start off with the first news. Stan Lee cancels his appearance due to health issues.
What?
Could this be end of Stan the Man, as we know?
No, I don't think it's the end of him. I just think he's gotten older and he's doing too much stuff.
Do you
There's-
think we'd even know who he was if he didn't make all these cameos?
Hell no.
Yeah, you
No.
would. Yeah, you would. You know
unless
he
you're
was.
unless you're
I
a
did
comic
not
fan,
know
no,
him.
you wouldn't.
No, I didn't know him until I don't know. I guess I just don't follow comic books as closely.
I knew him before
Yeah,
movies.
same here.
I
knew about him before the movies because he was highly like publicized. Because
That's because you
he-
read everything.
No, he was. They used to say like Stan Lee, he created the golden age of comics, and
I mean,
then
how
he was
much
in
do
the
you hear about
silver age of comics, and he
How
was.
much do you hear about the creator of Superman and all those other people, though?
I hear about the Batman creator a lot, but not Superman. Maybe the same guy. I don't know. But I know the Batman creator gets a lot
Sad
of
thing
talk.
about the industry is all the people that do the creative side get the shaft, while the people doing the voices and the acting are the only ones that get the attention.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless
But
you're
Stan Lee
popular
really got a lot
character.
because he did a lot of characters.
Yeah,
he
that's
did
true.
a lot.
That's something that he has that other people don't have. He did how many characters he did, right?
Spider-Man, the Hulk. He helped in a lot of different companies.
Yeah, he did Spider-Man with some other guy and helped in a lot of other characters, right?
Yeah, helped a lot of characters. But yeah, that's why he's so popular. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I hope he doesn't stop his cameos because I'll miss him. Because that's
No, they'll
one of
find
the
a way
He
good
was
to-
so
ones.
good in that Deadpool trailer.
they're gonna find a way to.
That was funny.
They're gonna find a way to digitize him. Don't you worry.
Right.
Yeah, probably.
Just his head.
All right, so the Game of Thrones season 7 premieres on July 16th. The teaser trailer dropped, which is just a bunch of mostly speeches of the previous seasons, and it's all kind of forecasting of what's going to happen.
Sorry, but I'm not like in. I love game. I will love the first 2 seasons of what I watched of Game of Thrones. I'm not sure where it's at right now. Don't want to spoil it for people, but is it on book or off book now?
Well, no, because okay, it's not completely following the book.
Okay.
Because there are some characters that are alive in the series that are dead in the book, and vice versa. But at the same time, George R.R. Martin has already told the showrunners they're the only people other than himself who know how it ends. So he basically, because he's old, and he just now is releasing, I forgot which book it is, but it's like now they're pretty much even. And I think there's only going to be like maybe one more season after this, which ends it. So what we're waiting to see is, if George R.R. Martin, hopefully doesn't pass away before he finishes, the showrunners will be able to at least finish the Game of Thrones story for everybody. Because it took him almost like 3 years to just write one book, I think.
Yeah, it takes him a while because he does a lot of like.
He does a lot of research, and it's very in-depth writing.
It's not just the research. I think he does a lot of explanation of his storyline. So he's like, and the fire cracked, and then it spit like embers into the air.
Well, he
and it's
paints
like,
a picture. That's for sure.
he's painting a picture with words.
Yeah. But
So-
I mean, I'm excited for it. I don't know about you guys. But
Yeah, I'm excited for it, but
It's
I
a
need to
good-
catch
it's a-
up. I'm way behind.
Yeah, you do.
I never started, so
What?
I need to start.
Yeah,
I
me
guess.
neither.
Wow,
Sorry.
you guys are
I
freaking
don't
lame.
own HBO.
Because he doesn't believe in cable.
But I want to watch it. I think it's not cable. It's HBO. He doesn't want to pay for HBO. I'm sure. So
Still good.
do you have HBO?
Yeah.
Okay,
I have it too.
but HBO Go app is cool. I would rather get HBO Go than pay for the channel.
Yeah,
Put it on
I use my parents' HBO Go.
Oh, what a lucky ducky. What a lucky guy has got his parents' name.
Yeah, I'm smart.
Can we put it up on screen?
Oh,
Please?
sure. Let's watch the Mario Kart trailer.
All right, so the new Mario Kart 8 Deluxe trailer just dropped for the Nintendo Switch. We are going to put it on screen right now so that we can watch it. If you are not watching our YouTube, check it out later on your own free time.
What's wrong with it?
But it looks pretty cool.
You'll be able to hear
It's
the
got a lot of
audio,
features. But
so-
yeah, you'll be able to hear the audio.
Oh, nice. Start this again.
Down the track, underwater, through the air, and even upside down.
I had a lot of fun on it with Wii U.
Race across the Mushroom Kingdom and beyond. In Mario Kart 8 Deluxe,
Oh, that was loud.
the game comes fully loaded with all downloadable content from the original version. Familiar characters are joined by the likes of Link and Isabelle. Give it up for the new racers from Splatoon, Inkling Girl and Inkling Boy.
Inkling.
Plus, King Boo is back from the dead,
He died?
alongside Drybone. And last but not least, it's Bowser Jr. There are more than 40 characters in all, and a whopping 48 tracks right
Wow.
from the start.
That's
The
pretty
most
cool.
in
I mean, at
any
least we're
Mario
getting
Kart game.
the fully loaded game. Even
Dude,
though
they're
it's already
stretching
been
it. I mean, they're
released.
trying hard.
You
It's
can
already been
hold
released
two
on Wii U,
items at
and I
once.
played it on there, but I didn't have all these characters in the DLC.
Link looks really cool. That bike looks really
Yeah,
cool.
it does. I'm just amazed how they're still like constantly revamping this game. Like it's such a simple game.
Well, the thing
Classic
that's
items
I'll
return as
explain something
well.
later.
Boo turns you invisible to nullify attacks while stealing an opponent's item. The feather returns exclusively to battle mode, lending users some extra jumping power. and the chance to steal a balloon. The 200cc
Wow.
class offers some intense white-knuckle racing.
Oh man, I can see some intense gaming
Luckily,
matches with
you can
this
now
here
brake
playing
while
this.
drifting.
Oh yeah, we're going to.
Wait a minute.
Steering assist is
200cc?
an optional feeture for newcomers that'll help
Yeah,
them stay on
they
track.
added an extra difficulty.
Oh, that's gonna be so hard. Barely can play 150.
There are tons of ways to play, not to mention modes.
Holy crap! Look at that.
I'm really
Customize
excited
your
to try
car.
out
Look at
Splatoon.
that!
Race
Look at
your way
that!
to
Look at that
victory.
steel one. Oh, I want to play Splatoon so bad. Splatoon 2.
Choose your own rules and course to see how you stack up
Sorry.
in multiplayer. Hone your skills and perfect each course, even in 200cc. Or fight it out in the new battle mode. Pop the most balloons to win in balloon battle.
Is that new? I played this on DS.
That's a new mode.
Avoid the law or
I mean, I
chase
played
the
it on
renegades
Nintendo
in the new
64.
mode, Renegade Roundup.
Balloon Battle, didn't you play that then?
Yeah, that's old.
It's just new
It's
and
all
improved
the
modes.
bombs, all the time in the Bomb Blast.
Oops.
See who can collect the most coins in Coin Runners. Hold on to the Shine Sprite for a 20 count to conquer Shine Thief.
Oh, like King of the Hill.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Now, wave goodbye to the open road and say hello to these full-on
What's cool,
battle
playing with friends, you don't have to
stages.
worry about split screen anymore.
Battle
That's so
Stadium.
nice.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Sweet, Sweet Kingdom. Dragon Palace.
I never
Lunar
minded
Colony.
split screen.
Woo Town
Well,
from Mario
it's
Kart
nice
7.
not to have it now.
It's yeah, it's nice
Mansion
because
from
usually
Mario
people would
Kart
cheat
Double
on
Dash.
split screen.
Battle Course 1 from Super Mario
I
Kart.
That's
could
my
never.
favorite part. That's my
And-
favorite one.
Urchin Underpass.
Totally see you
from
cheating.
Splatoon.
Who?
You're just sad you can't cheat.
So the online looks like it's
Connect
gonna
to the
be.
internet to race and battle other players.
Oh my god, those Mii's though. That's really cool. I really like the online looks much more
Set
robust.
your own rules and make it a
Oh
tournament.
god, search by code.
Seriously? Friend codes again?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Dress for the occasion by tapping a
It's gotta at
compatible
least be
unusual
based off
figure.
your friends list, right?
You can obtain a Mii racing suit
Oh.
fashioned after that character.
God damn it, that link, it's so hard to find.
Why? Do you get that shit from winning races?
No, if you get the link and you tap it, you get a
Fullest,
special link suit.
fastest Mario
Oh.
Kart
With
game
an
ever
amiibo.
made.
The Smash Brothers one, the one that's really rare?
Yes.
Stupid.
I can't
Why don't
find
they sell it more?
Oh my god, that was cool. Whoa,
Mario
that's
Kart 8
that's an extreme
Deluxe.
zoom out.
Racing
Yeah.
onto Nintendo Switch, April 28th.
Ooh, not too far
Oh
off
wow,
either.
that comes out when I'm back.
The day after my birthday.
Well, I'm excited for it, but
Birthday present to myself.
Wow. So, what do you guys think?
It's pretty cool. I think it looks good, awesome.
oh shit. Well, it's fine.
I hope it comes out. I hope it comes out. I hope they make their online more robust. Sorry, but that's just me. Because if they use friend codes for this game, it's not going to be a very popular game. You can't play with people.
It's gotta at least be based off your friends list, especially if there's gonna be paid service. It's just like anything else.
I know. I agree with you.
I just hope they make it
very
open
angry.
where you can race anybody.
Yeah, well, hopefully that can happen. But I think it's great. I think they should continue doing what they're doing.
All right, then moving on. So apparently, Patrick Stewart is getting U.S. citizenship to protest against Donald Trump. For
Yeah.
those of you who don't know, that's the same guy who plays Professor Xavier.
Also played Jean-Luc Picard in Star Trek
Yes.
and Star Trek: The Next Generation (TNG). I absolutely love that show.
I love Patrick Stewart too, just himself in general.
Oh, he's hilarious.
He's kind of weird. He's kind of eccentric.
It's cool.
Yeah.
I really like Blunt Talk that he's in, but at the same time, I don't like it. I don't know.
What? I like it, but I don't.
I like it, but I'm not excited to watch the next episode, I guess. I don't know.
Mm.
But I really liked him in Star Trek, and he's a really smart guy. So, I mean, it's interesting. I don't know what to say about him wanting to oppose Trump, but The one thing that's good about Trump is bring people together,
Yeah, that's true. Bring people
Making
together
people-
against him or for him.
making people more political, right? More
Yeah.
aware of what's going on. That's good, I guess.
Yeah, he's gonna get a U.S. citizenship so he can protest him by voting against him, which is
Or
interesting.
is it all part of his plan to open the Xavier School?
What does the
Bum
Queen
bum.
have to say about that? I mean,
Didn't someone post something on Facebook saying that the Queen can legally have him killed? Stupid. Okay,
have him
whatever.
beheaded or something?
Yeah, stupid. Legally, I can kill him. Never
Oh,
forget.
for Trump? Yeah, she did say that.
Stupid.
Amazon's Twitch will stream more than 800 Power Ranger episodes over the next 17 days for free.
Ooh.
Really?
That's pretty cool, but why is it on Twitch?
And I'm not going
Why
to watch a single goddamn one of them.
Why not
Because-
Prime Video?
No, it's not
Oh, they
there.
make it free for everybody?
Yeah,
Is that
make it free for everybody so everyone can watch it.
Mm.
But didn't they do something like this before with the Bob Ross's episode? Someone went on Twitch and started putting it on there, and Bob Ross became really popular, and Netflix picked it up and all that stuff.
Really? That's why it's on there? That's why.
Yeah, because I don't know if it's because of that, but I think it was interesting that like one day some guy just started playing all Bob Ross episodes on his Twitch, and all of a sudden nowhere, like everyone started picking at Bob Ross TV channel, the TV things. Like Netflix got it a month later, and you're like, oh, okay. So people want to watch Bob Ross because he's the king of whatever it was. What's that sound thing called? That everyone like the auditory thing people like to hear.
Yeah.
ASMR.
Oh, ASMR.
He's
yes.
a king of ASMR.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I thought that one girl is Gentle Whispers.
He was the original ASMR guy.
Yeah,
they
people
said
didn't really know it yet.
Oh, she's
It's
like a
just the
pro
way
at it,
he
though.
talks.
he's the originator of it because he would be like, "Let's put a pretty tree right over here," and then people.
Oh, yeah.
So he was really like the
It's
king of
like
ASMR.
this,
Really
I
think
saw
so?
this video where
that was
he's
really made
cleaning
him
his
popular. Besides that, he paints. Sorry.
brushes.
Yeah, people thought that it was really nice. The way he talked calmed
Yeah,
a lot
it
of
was
people
really-
down.
Interesting.
My mom learned a lot just watching him. I remember sitting there as a kid just watching him, and it was so relaxing. You're just sitting there, and now I will add an ocean. It's like, oh.
So, talking about Power Rangers, I think this is the gear up for the Power Ranger movie, which is coming out very soon. I think at the end of this month or something.
No.
So,
You think
Must be.
so? You think it's connected?
nah,
Oh.
kind of. We'll see what happens.
All right, then. Moving on.
First topic of the week, Logan.
All right, so we've all seen Logan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be the first one to say it. It's a goddamn depressing movie. But
I
it's a
didn't think
good
it
ass
was.
movie.
It is a little depressing.
It was the tone of the movie was a little bit down, and they brought that out with the trailers, especially when you play, whatever that song is by Johnny Cash. I think it's "Hurt" by Johnny Cash is your trailer song, which is a really depressing song. So you're really gearing people into being a depressing movie. I was depressed watching it because I saw Hugh Jackman getting old.
Yeah, no kidding.
Hugh Jackman can't even get it up in this movie. I feel so bad.
Oh my god, you're so rude.
His claw won't extend all the way.
Yeah, his claw.
Wow.
His claw.
Wow.
Ellie's giving him the death look because
He had to grab it.
Well,
and
people
pull
are
it out.
not. Yeah.
He had to grab it and pull it out, Ellie.
that's the song.
Yeah.
So yeah, that song was really depressing. But the movie's tone in general is
It's very
really-
Western. That's the thing. It's got a very Western kind of final days kind of deal.
It kind of does, but it's really about a relationship that is trying to bloom, and it's really about the end of a character that you really like.
yeah,
that you may have liked
I mean,
a lot.
he's been
Well, both.
playing it since 2000.
Xavier and Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the end of it's two main characters.
Yeah.
And you really feel sad because as a kid, when you watched him on UPN or whatever channel you used to watch,
Yeah, when he first came out,
That's
I
right
was
now.
10 years old.
Wolverine was one
original-
of my favorite characters because he was
The
like
cartoon?
4 foot. Yeah, the cartoon. He was like 4'5" or something, and really like hunched over. And
I was always so hyped up for that when
He's
the intro
4'5"?
played.
he's short. I don't know. He's like 5'2" or something, like a midget.
Yeah, he's really tiny.
Sorry, I didn't say midget. Small person.
Compared to the other X-Men, he was tiny.
Yeah, he's tiny, and
He's a tiny, little hairy guy.
yeah, and
Wolverine is 5'3" in the comics. but
5'3", there you
Hugh
go.
Jackman is 6'3".
yeah, Hugh Jackman's huge.
Dude, I could be Wolverine.
You could.
Although I'm a little taller.
You have to
than
get
him.
all buff and like.
I would be a little taller version though. 'Cause I'm like 5'7", so
Just a little bit taller. Not that much taller.
4 inches.
4 inches. 4 inches means a lot, though.
It does.
It's not the size that counts. It's the motion in the ocean. So if you can get yourself jacked up and moving fast, you'll be fine.
Did you just say that?
Yeah. So overall, I think that the movie was very depressing. I think that the tone was meant to be that way. It didn't follow any other style of hero movie at all. It was its own style, I think. Really depressing and down.
What do you think of it being rated R? Did it help the movie?
I thought it resulted in some kind of like over the top gruesome scenes, which I appreciated, but at the same time, I was like, are they doing it just to do it?
Yeah, I feel like they went and looked at Deadpool and they said people really like Deadpool being rated R, and that's one thing they said. Yeah, I believe this. Wait.
I personally liked it, and the reason is because it's more real. You know, most people in a real world, you're gonna cuss. There's gonna be gruesome shit.
I'm not worried about the
especially when you
cussing.
got claws. I mean, like, how do you cleanly kill somebody with?
I'm not. It's not about the cleanly killing. Is it required to be seen? You can make the disbelief. No, you can make the You can. It's been in all the movies in the.
That's like having a Superman movie, but you never see the punches.
It did make you think about Wolverine's dark side more.
Yeah, it made you think of a dark side, but at the same time, it distracted you from the main story. The killing is cool.
How did it distract?
Because you're like, oh my god, he just put his claw through someone's head.
So
and then you're
that's
like,
normal.
I understand, but the suspension or disbelief.
In all the movies before, he would just kind of slash and the guy would fall. You never actually see.
Yeah, because those guys were. They don't care. They're peons, just like these guys he killed. They're peons. So the thing is the main reason why was it needed to be seen? I don't know, because they thought people want to see it. I think.
You know what? There is a reason though, and I don't know if this is really a spoiler or not.
I really disagree. I think they did it because they wanted to follow Deadpool.
No, because there's a moment in the movie where he talks about that he does bad things to people, and then the fact that it shows the gruesome killing kind of emphasis on the bad things he's done and why it affects him. There's a scene in there when he has a nightmare. I don't know if you remember that. Where he wakes up from it. That is a part that shows like this is the world he's lived his entire life.
And he talked to the other characters about killing people all his life.
And I agree.
Exactly.
I agree with you that that's part of it. But I think that
you can't relate to it if you don't see the gruesomeness of his deaths.
You can still build story without seeing things.
Then why watch a movie then? Read a book.
There's a lot of you can always have the illusion of disbelief. You just know it's there. The thing is they did it because they wanted to say people like Deadpool, they like the rated R, they like the killing. Let's copy that and put that in a second movie.
That's always been a thing.
It didn't also work. There was no need to see titties in this movie. There was no need.
That was ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that was pretty funny.
There was no need to see boobs in this movie, but they put it in there because they're like, okay, people are going to laugh at this.
And they did.
People laugh because it's so weird to see. It also is awkward because if you're like, oh, I want to see this movie, and you see it, and then there's boobs in it, and then that movie automatically gets a nudity rating.
But it shows you Wolverine, right? Because he always goes after the girls. He drinks, he smokes.
What? I don't think he
Dude,
watched
the first thing he did when he showed up, he would start hitting on Jean Grey. Get the hell out of here!
I don't think he watched the same movie we did. He wasn't hitting on anybody there.
I know. I'm just saying that the woman factor is there.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
The women,
but I don't think the women.
The girls who showed it were drunk.
Yeah,
and then they were hitting on.
They were hitting on it, but it's also a bachelorette party that was going to happen regardless.
So then why are you shocked?
I'm just explaining. Was there a need for it? I'm just asking that. Was it needed in the movie?
Would have made the movie.
Would have made the movie better with it? Did you need that to make the movie better, or did they just put it in there to fill space?
You didn't need it, and the reason is because he smiled. He never smiles in the whole movie except for that one moment. So it shows you that like he smiles a couple times because it shows you that he's not broken still like that far. Like he still had some like personality.
You could be right there, but I think he smiled multiple times in the movie. He didn't just smile.
Look, this guy is obviously this movie. They didn't like when you write a movie, every second counts. So there's no way they sat there and went, just for laugh factor.
If you watch Fantastic Four. The new Fantastic Four that Fox made. Wait, before I finish this, they built the story to be, okay, let me put some story in there and more stuff. This is the same thing. I could see pieces of that in there where they added stuff just to add stuff to fill time. The movie was a little long, in my opinion.
The movie was long, yeah.
A little long, in my opinion. It could have been a little shorter.
Good. No.
Yeah,
what would you cut out?
the whole like booby scene and
That's
the,
like a second. You
that
weirdo.
whole driving scene where he was like driving around. I'd have it for like maybe 1 minute, and it was in there for like 5-6 minutes.
He went to back to see Patrick Stewart multiple times. I think they could have done without that. And then, we all know Patrick Stewart is in this movie, and just had him go once. That's all I'll say without spoiling it.
And saving a lot of the story and saving it to build more story instead of just having it like he's driving and driving and driving. It's like, okay, man, I get it. He's driving. So I would understand that. And on top of that, the movie didn't make sense at the end. One part of that made me really angry. Well, not angry. It just made me annoyed. It's just that I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but everybody knows there's a kid in this movie. And this kid has some power. We don't know. Commercial shows that she has. The commercial showed it,
No,
right?
we
had,
know
it
claws.
just shows the claws.
She has claws. So, at the end of the movie, she's being chased, but she doesn't use it. She
What are you
runs.
talking about? Yes, she does.
And once, something else comes along, but she's running away. She killed like 50 people, and that was in the commercial. I remember that. She killed like 10, 15 people in the commercial. And she doesn't want to turn around and kill 15 people more? I mean, all these kids are with you.
Oh, you're talking about... Okay, I know what you're talking
Do
about.
you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, that one part...
That part made me annoyed. I'm
Yeah,
like,
What
just
really
turn
annoyed
around.
me is
Yeah, at that part I remember yelling, why don't you guys fight back?
X-Men is all about you're weak as an individual. You're not powerful unless you use your strengths with other people as a team.
Yeah.
That's what X-Men's all about.
And there's one thing, though, is that one scene that you're talking about, all the kids are running. So when all your friends run, you generally run too.
yeah,
You're
but
not going to be like, you guys go ahead.
they never work together as a team.
It's
I
'cause
mean,
they're
except for
kids,
like
man. They're not
one tiny
X-Men.
little stupid scene.
Because they're not X-Men. They're a bunch of kids.
No, they're not trained.
They're not trained for
running
that.
from the border.
Still, they have two potential leaders: the kid with the powers or fucking Wolverine.
Yeah, but most of them... Well, Wolverine
Patrick
wasn't even
Stewart-
there till the end.
Patrick Stewart or Xavier even alludes to it at one time. It's like they're counting on you. They look up to you.
Yeah, but he wasn't there at that time.
Yeah, and
He
then
was
on
still catching up.
On the top of
Yeah.
it, there was some... I think the X-Men origin story, Wolverine, was weak, and that made for this movie being better. On top of that, there's a whole bunch
This
of
movie's
Easter...
better than any of those other Wolverine
Yeah.
movies.
And this is the best one.
The Deadpool with the mouth shown shut. What the
Yeah,
hell?
Oh,
that was
God.
really bad. But the one with the samurai, Silver Samurai,
Yeah, that one.
Oh,
Was
that
supposed to
one?
be better.
I didn't understand that because in
There
that
was
one,
there's an
his
Easter egg from
adamantium gets removed completely, but in this one, he has it back.
well, it's
So-
a
This is like
I
a
guess-
alternate universe.
yeah,
I
alternate
think.
universe.
I guess so.
The Logan storyline is different because there's something going on with him in
Well,
that age.
this one is actually based off of the
X-
Old Man Logan comics.
Yeah,
X-Men is
which
like the Flash.
completely
Well,
different.
you saw. I mean, we're already aware there's multiple timelines because the Days of Future Past that showed that there's multiple timelines. So this is just like a possible universe that I think that they have in here.
Yeah,
And
and
the
then
same
all,
thing with the comic books and
all the mutants are going
the
away.
TV series, yeah.
They're all going away, and this is like there's no mutants anymore. Da 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 da.
Yeah.
So that's what that was the whole.
Well, we find
storyline.
out why too, but we don't want to spoil it.
yeah.
But overall, if I had to give this movie a rating, and I'm going to give myself a rating on this movie, is I'm going to give it a 6.5.
Wow.
And the 6.5 is the reason I give it a 6 point. Well, let's go 7. 7. The reason why I give it a 7 is entertaining. There's some plot issues in the storyline. It's depressing, but I like the depression. I like the story, the way they went and built the story to be unique versus the rest of the universes. The rated R-ness, it didn't need to be this gruesome, but they did it just to do it. It didn't need to be this way. You could just show him chopping people and not blood shooting out of it or through the head. It didn't need to do that. But there's a lot of stupidity parts that I get annoyed with in this movie, because you chop a guy's arm off, he's dead. You think he's going to be dead. But then you see that guy in like another scene like later on, and he's still alive, and you're like, what the hell was the point of chopping your arm off? But anyway, I give it to me 7.5. 7 out of 10. I give it 7 out of 10 half erect claws.
Okay, Ellie, what did you think of the movie?
For once, I think I have to agree with Tommy on this one about
Wow.
when he said that there's a purpose why it's so gruesome and for the rated R, not just because they felt like competing with other movies. It's just the whole tone of the movie, so they need to add all that stuff. I actually, when I watched it, I kind of compared it to this older movie called Taxi Driver. I don't know if you guys ever seen it.
Yes, I did. It's an
Or-
old movie.
It's an old movie. I love that movie, and it's just the whole like premises is like you watch this person drive. He's driving, he's going crazy, and then towards the end, that's when all these series of things are happening. It's the exact same thing. You're seeing a story. He's driving, he's a driver, and then towards the end, all this stuff is happening. But the one thing I will say about that, I don't think it was executed correctly, and that's why things are out of place. So I didn't like it. I honestly did not like this movie as much as I thought I would, even though it tried doing that depressing tone, which I usually like. But yeah, sorry.
Okay. Just what do you
I actually give it a
it?
6 out of 10.
Wow, it's lower than mine.
Yeah.
I didn't even. She talked good about it.
6 out of 10, and that would mostly be because, yeah, I watched it once, and I probably don't have interest of watching it again.
Wow.
Yep.
Well,
He died, and there was no reason to see it.
Oh, okay.
That's all I needed to know.
Do you
can you
need?
not spoil it?
No, I did, no, I did spoil it, did I?
Yeah,
No.
kind of.
Well, you kind of know that it's gonna happen because they
No,
said
it's
this.
gonna happen.
says
That's
last-
the whole no.
Everybody said no. Everybody said well, before the movie came out. They said Hugh Jackman said this is my last movie.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean the character dies. It could just.
Oh yeah, he could fly into space.
I don't know. At
whatever.
the end, it left it very
He could retire.
ambitious. Like, it could be going either way. I don't know.
You could live like Paul Walker happily ever after.
well-
I could tell you, I don't believe he died. I'm just telling
Paul Walker didn't die. He's still alive. He's like Tupac. Wait. Oh, he did die in real life. He did die.
Okay. Yeah. Will, what do you think?
Technically, he didn't die.
Oh.
In a way.
Will?
In a way. But anyway, I really liked the situation that put Patrick Stewart as Xavier and Hugh Jackman as Wolverine
I did
in
too.
this movie. I really liked that Patrick Stewart was not himself. He
was more
I-
frail.
Yeah, I don't know how to say it without spoiling anything, but he's in a situation where he has to kind of seclude himself, and I really liked the dynamic between Hugh Jackman and Patrick Stewart in this movie, and it really lended itself to the dark tone. As soon as we got to a point in the movie where Patrick Stewart wasn't as involved, I didn't start to like the movie as much as I did before.
Yeah,
and that's where it
same
started
here.
to fall apart for me.
It got depressing.
Yeah, because he was all about what X-Men is all about. Patrick Stewart's Xavier is all about.
He is the X-Men.
Yeah, pretty much getting people together that wouldn't normally work together, and using their strengths as a team to come over top of an obstacle, which never happened at the end. Instead, we got what was kind of a retarded ending, in my opinion. I mean, it's sad, but like it wouldn't have the X-Men feel. But overall, I really liked how like I said, how the Patrick Stewart and Wolverine dynamic was, and the rated R factor with the gruesome action scenes. I mean, that was really cool, and there were some really exciting parts even at the end. So I'd probably give it 7.5.
Wow. Well, for myself, I really like this movie. I actually was the first person when I saw the trailer to say, "Oh, this is gonna be shit." But then after I watched the trailers a couple more times, like the other trailers, I was like, you know what? This actually could be pretty cool.
So that's kind of funny. It's kind of the opposite of what Sohail's case was. He's like, he saw the trailer, like, this is going to probably be the best X-Men movie I've ever seen.
Yeah, but
and then he watches it, it's like,
it's
no,
not as good. It's not. It's not. I didn't think it was going to be terrible. I didn't think it was terrible. I just think that I hope that Fox in itself is not making the mistake of following Deadpool and saying, all right, Deadpool's equation.
Unlike Deadpool is nitty gritty though, so have that for it.
Yeah, but what I meant is like the Deadpool equation should fit to all these movies. It can't. It can't. Just like the cussing.
It's not gonna do that. But I mean, this one,
the cussing,
this
the
movie,
boobs,
But look, this
the
movie,
gruesomeness.
Logan. The character Wolverine is a very dark character in general. I mean, if you follow his entire life story, I mean, I was listening to.
He's kind of an angry guy. He's not really.
It's just how his whole life. He's had in the comics. He's had 3 wives that were killed, He had participated in multiple wars. He's seen lots of people die. All of his closest friends have died.
His memory.
He's lost his memory. He's lost all sorts of shit. He's been through brutal shit. He's been killed thousands of times and revived. And, it's always death around him. There's a lot of death and gruesome killing, people trying to hunt you down. So, I mean, and then even back when he was a child, all this shit just kind of adds up. And so I can see why, actually, it's more fitting to me, honestly, since we already spoiled it, how he dies. It's more fitting to me that it shows you in this movie kind of how depressing his life has become. Like, it's kind of gone full circle. It shows you the kind of dark existence at the end of this guy who, generally is very tough and seems to, like, be pretty much immortal. But you see, like, a weaker, kind of doesn't know what to do anymore with himself kind of guy who, is just trying to make ends meet.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
That's weird. I agree with you. No, because if it truly is the final movie with Wolverine in it.
Well, I don't think it's final movie with Wolverine. Final movie with Hugh Jackman.
If Hugh Jackman, like,
of
as
his
Wolverine,
interpretation of Wolverine.
Yeah, if it's the final one in that, then I do feel they had to go all out, give his story, and his story is really depressing. And that's why you got the rated R. I mean, like, so Hill, you said that you don't think it's necessary to have, like, this, to show all the killings. But I feel for this one, it is.
It is
you want to
necessary.
see, you want to get all gruesome. But for me, I lost the attention to that towards the end. It was just not executed for me.
It needed a little bit more. It needed a little bit more of that Patrick Stewart. I think if they focused more on Patrick Stewart and Wolverine's relationship a little more.
Well, there was plenty in there. I think the focus is mostly on
Wolverine. If the build up to the beginning of that relationship,
there's some sort of a redemption of Wolverine at the end to have that leadership thing that Patrick Stewart was foreshadowing. What I thought was foreshadowing earlier in the film. I would have liked it a lot more.
Well, yeah,
I think if they built on that relationship,
this is how he always has been. The Wolverine that Hugh Jackman has played has always been against the grain until the very end, where his conscience kicks in.
That's how Wolverine's always been. But my thing is that I really was hoping in my heart of hearts that they would have built the relationship to be a little bit more. This is how Patrick Stewart got in the situation. This is Patrick Stewart before it, and this is what's happening and why he cares. Why does he care? Because Logan really doesn't care. He's always been like a lone guy.
Until
but why now?
Xavier,
yeah, but why now? You know why from a little bit of the other movies.
No,
but they should have built it in this movie.
They became friends. I mean,
yeah,
he met him, and they met him. I mean, he was his first connection. That's why he cares.
I kind of want to see it in this movie. It would have been much more fun to have that narrative. I just enjoy that. That's I have a lot of reasons.
I mean, the reason you don't see that in this is because they're at the end of it now, where they're both kind of on the verge.
I don't know. I'm not asking for your explanation. I'm asking. I would have liked to see that, but they didn't.
I know that, and I get what you're saying. I'm explaining why they probably did that. It's just because there's no room for it.
It was already a long movie.
There's so much history of that.
Well, I meant like cut out a little bit of the other stuff, and then do that relationship, and I would have liked it more. I think that relationship would have been a much stronger story.
They would have needed flashbacks then. That would have been a whole different...
I would have loved it.
Less circles of kids finger pointing.
Yes, that was really stupid.
It was cute.
Was it cute?
But yeah, I think at the end of it, there was something interesting that I found out. It's actually in the trailer too. You see some of the comic books of Wolverine comic books.
Oh yeah, that was interesting too.
That's in there, and I found out that they actually got the guys who do the artwork for the X-Men comics to the issue that they have in the movie is not an actual issue. It's just like something they just made for the movie, but like they have the same artist draw it just so that it gives it the same realistic feel.
Yeah, I liked how they worked that into the universe. So none of this never happened. He's a fan of the X-Men.
Now here's a cool theory
based off true stories.
There's a part where Wolverine says none of this is actually how it happened. So that means the only way that whoever wrote it must have been a part of the X-Men. Because how would they know how all this happened?
No,
anyway?
it's just like, fantasize like somebody heard it and the story got told and it told and told.
No, but someone had to have been there.
No, you didn't have to be there. Like, imagine if you saw it and you played telephone. Like someone got a video of it on their phone and you're like,
No, but
oh yeah, I saw that happen last time. There was the X-Men on my backyard and they were doing this. Like it was just telephone.
Were you drawing a conclusion from that? Somebody from the X-Men team that was
It might have because
who?
Because it might because I mean
Yeah,
I want to this because if I talk about this, it might be a spoiler. I don't know. Well, there's a part where the kids are talking to somebody. Who are they talking to?
The kids.
They're talking to the people that worked with them in the hospital.
No. Think about it.
Oh, you think Xavier did it?
No. So you know the guys that he's talking on the walkie and someone's on the other end telling him
confirming that you have access.
Yeah. So and the fact that it was in the comics, where they're at.
It could have been then that
It could have been the X-Men actually somebody from the X-Men, maybe even Scott, made
but he's dead.
But we don't know that for sure. All we know is that something happened in Westchester. That's all we know. And we're left to figure it out.
Oh, totally forgot about that, by the way. There's something really dark about Xavier's character that I thought really added a lot of depth to the storyline, and that I really appreciated too.
Yeah, which is pretty much something happened with Xavier like a year ago, which is apparently why you don't see any of the other X-Men around. But I'm going to leave it for you to watch it and figure it out.
Yeah, no spoilers.
Okay, so I would give this movie a 10 out of 10.
Wow.
It's too high, Tommy.
And the reason I give it a 10 out of 10 is because I actually...
Calm yourself.
I laughed at a lot of the scenes that were funny.
You got emotions?
I got emotional. It was really touching. Some of the scenes was like really depressing, but I connected with the character and his kind of like just endless story of immortality. Like he's, if he just wants to die, but he doesn't know how to go about it. How do you kill yourself when you've almost died 1,000 times?
If you
then to finally die.
If this movie was just about Patrick Stewart and Hugh Jackman, or I keep saying that, Wolverine and Xavier, I would have maybe given it a 9 or 10. Because all the other stuff is what I didn't like. I really liked...
What, the kid?
Yeah, the kids and...
There's a reason for that.
I know, it was part of the story development and all that stuff, but I'm just saying...
Well, it was his way of kind of letting go.
I get it. I get that. But I get that in this situation,
without it, he's still driving.
I know. But I'm just saying if I didn't, that was the only part of the movie I didn't have any qualms about. This is the relationship between those two.
Yeah, of course. I don't know. I just really freaking liked it. I thought all the action was great. I thought the fight scenes were great. The emotions, the jokes, the yelling, everything, every part of it was like, damn, this is actually pretty good. And I have to disagree with Ellie. Chronologically, to me, it all kind of fit in place. Yeah, there was probably one or two scenes where I was kind of like, okay. But, you're not going to have a perfect movie that fits your, complete thing, unless it's Deadpool. I
can give you a list of perfect movies.
No, you can't.
That will get you these emotions.
All right, so overall...
I will send it to you. That will get a 10.
Overall, I'm...
And then you'll say this is a 6.
I'm going to overall believe that this movie is a 10 out of 10 for all of us. Yes, that's a good one.
10 out of 10 what's?
10 out of 10.
That's not nice. That's not what we voted.
Bullets.
Adamantium bullets.
Yeah.
If I can do averages correctly, that's a 7.8.
7.8. 7.8 out of 10. Because your 10 puts it up. So
you got that right.
Closer to mine.
You guys are weird.
7.8 creepy drones.
I just said 0.8 because I felt like it.
This movie was so much better than like half the crap we saw.
So wait, was it 7?
7 out of 7.8 awkward black children.
William put what? 7?
What?
Don't.
You had that little Wolverine figure and it was
6.5.
It reminded me of
Where did he get that from, by the way? I didn't realize. Where did he just whip that out from?
What did you give it? What did you give it, William?
7.5.
I just want to do the math. It's 7.75. You're close.
I can math.
That's actually a really good score for a movie. So
anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let's just agree to disagree that the fact that this movie is a 10 out of 10. I'm the moderator. Therefore, my word is law.
I understand that you like action movies, and I understand that's your style of movie you like, but it doesn't fit for everybody. So you have to.
I love that style, but I didn't like this movie.
They're just haters.
No, there's no haters in it.
I got you, Jackman.
I didn't think it was the worst thing I've seen.
I actually like Hugh Jackman. I find Hugh Jackman to be a great actor. I just think that this is not. I don't think
you know what it is. These guys like Triple X more than they like.
No, he got stuck. He got stuck playing Wolverine because it was really popular, and I really think that that's really where he got a great start. He did branch out and do really well in a lot of other movies. I think he can continue to do a lot better in a lot of movies. But
He was so good in Chappie.
in Chappie.
The best character in that.
Anyway, moving on.
Second topic of the week, King Kong.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I didn't like this movie at all.
Really?
I know. I
is
was,
so
and which is weird, because I really thought I was gonna like it.
Wow.
It kind of pissed me off a lot.
That's kind of weird for me. I would have thought you would like this movie.
So I have a lot of fond memories of King Kong growing up. I would go on the Universal tram ride, and you go inside that building, and there's that huge animatronic King Kong, and it's kind of overwhelming how large it is, shaking the whole tram. You have the whole banana smell coming from the breath. I never got into the King Kong films when I was little because I never really had open access to them, especially not the black and white one or the other one that was remade. So that was all I knew about King Kong. So I was really interested when the Peter Jackson one came out.
Yeah, I think that was the first big one.
But the Peter
from
Jackson
everybody.
one was a lot different than like this, like over.
I really liked that one.
The Peter Jackson King Kong was like very human. You know what I mean? This like had tons of like. Very
This one was
soft,
pretty human
emotional.
too. This one was walking like a damn human the whole time.
Pretty much.
Well,
but,
it's just like, oh, it's just a dude walking straight.
but
There's no hunching, no nothing.
But the opening scene when you are first exposed to it, and we had this, we saw it in IMAX, and it was this huge IMAX screen with a really great sound, and you see King Kong and he's right there. I could practically smell that banana breath again. I was like, it took me back to when I was a kid, seeing this huge
That's cute. Do you
gorilla
like this?
shaking that thing, and that yell, the King Kong yell. I heard that so much when I was growing up on the tram, and this is the first time I heard it again, because I didn't hear that kind of yell when I went to the Peter Jackson one.
I don't
I
remember. It's been a while.
It was kind of so I really like the sound design, and I really like the effects, but the story.
All right, the story. All right, look, the effects is good. King Kong itself was big and cool looking. The walking was kind of weird for me. But here's the problems I have with the movie. Number one, the story was absolute bullshit. It was so stupid, and you could tell it was just really pushing it. The characters were absolutely dumb. Some of them were absolutely useless. They killed a lot of main characters that didn't even need to, that could have stayed, and they kept a lot of bullshit characters. I was sitting there the whole time, and then throughout the whole thing, Samuel L. Jackson was trying so goddamn hard to be funny. Just doing the typical stuff, but it was like he knew, it wasn't natural, and it was driving me nuts.
I felt like it was the Samuel L. Jackson from Snakes on the Plane.
Yes, exactly.
It was that Samuel L. Jackson. It wasn't the Samuel L. Jackson that you're, from your, God, I forgot the damn movie.
Avengers?
Not the Avengers. It's not the Samuel
It wasn't the
Jackson.
smooth talking Samuel Jackson. It was more of the trying to act whole hardcore and shit.
What was the one
it wasn't
that he did
no Pulp
with
Fiction and
yeah,
shit.
Pulp Fiction one. Yeah, the Pulp Fiction Samuel L. Jackson. That's a Samuel L. Jackson you think would be in this movie. Not because he's cool, but you would think he'd be like a smooth talking general or a smooth talking colonel. It's kind of like, I'm too cool for this. But he's like a crazy person. All right. But I didn't think the movie was terrible.
It sucked.
But I didn't think it was terrible. But I didn't think that it was. I didn't think it was great. I'll just say that much. I did find that this is a movie. If I want to classify this movie is a movie that is made for people that like to watch giant monsters fight.
No,
Yeah.
I agree with
Yeah,
that.
it's like a giant monster fight. It's like people that didn't like Pacific Rim won't like this movie. I think people that like Pacific Rim will like this movie because there's giant things fighting each other.
Well, not necessarily, because I liked Pacific Rim, and I don't like this movie.
Well, I'm just saying you liked it because of robots and kaiju, but I think that this is giant monsters.
No, it pissed me off. One thing that really made me mad was the monsters in this, which we see in the trailer, is literally almost like a ripoff of the monsters from the movie Pitch Black that Vin Diesel played in. I don't know if you remember that movie.
Similar.
It's very, very similar, and it had the same kind of feel. And then I couldn't help but constantly feel a Jurassic Park reference every fucking second, especially when they did the quote, "Hang on to your butts," which is exactly what he said.
There was this older film, I think it's from the 90s, called The Lost World, not the Jurassic Park one. Like there was one called Lost World, and it was all about these huge creatures. I remember I watched it in a science class. It was just awkward, but it's just all these giant creatures. So it reminded me a lot of that. But then it's like that is from a book. Then they took that book and made it into Jurassic Park, The Lost World, Jurassic Park. So it's, I don't know. There's a connection with all that somehow.
I mean, it's all in the genre of like a
'Cause they had
mysterious
giant monkey
island and like
so
crazy
they
ass
might have gotten that.
dinosaurs and this and that. There wasn't no dinosaurs in this, but there was like crazy creatures that have never existed anywhere else on the planet, but they're only on this one fucking island apparently. Like,
Well, Skull Island was in the other movies too, but I didn't understand some things, and I agree with you. There was a lot of things that were kind of weird in this movie. I thought it was kind of weird they would do it in like the 70s, you know.
yeah, the era.
Because doesn't King Kong come around from World War II? Am I incorrect? Like the atomic testing?
Yeah, because they had this.
No, well, that's
Skyscrapers.
Godzilla you're thinking about.
Yeah, I meant God. That's what I said. Godzilla.
Oh, Godzilla.
So Godzilla comes from there, and then they were trying to pull King Kong out of the Vietnam era.
Oh.
Like I was just like, I don't get what's going on. And just
Because
In the
by the
70s?
time it's our time, we already have satellites.
we understand that this movie is being built to be a fight-off movie between King Kong and Godzilla.
I think they just did that so they could have the helicopters going around with kind of Vietnam music.
Yeah, they wanted to have something.
And that was cool. That was cool. I appreciate that. It was a little weird.
The 60s music. The 60s music was cool. I
Yeah.
thought that was really cool. And I thought, have you ever played Battlefield Vietnam?
Yeah, I was reminded just like that.
Yeah.
And they even had like ridiculous scenes where like this guy was wearing these like chopper glasses and you can see the reflection of what's going on from the glasses, and they were doing the army talk, and
What did you think
some
of
really cool
What did you
effects.
think of the deaths?
All I have to say is John Goodman lost a lot of weight. Now he looked really thin.
Oh my god, I was worried for his health. It's like, is he dying?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah, he
Is
was so
cancer
thin.
or something?
I think there was this health scare at one point last year,
I'm
but
not sure.
he's gotten skinnier. Yeah, but what did you think of the deaths, man?
I thought King Kong beating up things was cool, and I thought people dying in the movie was cool. But
Did it need to be that gruesome?
if John C. Reilly wasn't in this movie would be total trash.
Oh yeah, he saved it.
I think John C.
Sort
Reilly
of.
was the most powerful character in this whole movie.
I agree, and he's
Cracked
the
me up
most
so
ridiculous one.
Yeah, he's the most ridiculous one, but that's John C. Reilly. In his other movie roles, he's the same guy.
I love John C. Reilly.
And John C. Reilly, he does serious movies, and when he does serious movies, he does them well. Like he did Gangs in New York.
You guys
And
are some
it's
good.
kinda
You're
serious.
some good guys. Good guys to die with. You shouldn't have come here.
Yeah, they
like-
made it kind of crazy, like he's talking to
Crazy,
himself. He
this is
doesn't
like-
know he's talking to himself.
It's like John C. Reilly from, what's that NASCAR movie he made? God, he was in a NASCAR movie
It's so funny though.
with
Goddamn.
Will. What's his name? The guy he's always in movies with. It's like Step Brother.
Oh, Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell and him did a movie, Talladega Nights. His
Oh,
character
yeah.
was kind of like that. It's kind of like a weird guy that's saying weird stuff. It's like, I'm like peanut butter and you're like jelly. No, not saying weird stuff.
No, but this was funnier because it was more of like he's freaking out, but he doesn't know how to. He hasn't talked to people in 30 years. He's just like, yeah, you should have come.
He'll just do whatever because he just wants a way out.
Yeah. But I think that character really carried this movie. I do think that Samuel Jackson could have been not in this movie and it would have been fine.
Yeah, it would
I
have been
agree.
better without him.
No,
in
I
it.
think
He
Samuel.
didn't even
He's
feel
so
like the lead character,
typecasted.
honestly.
Well, he wasn't supposed to be the lead character.
even though his name was like the top.
Well, that's because he brings money. He brings movie people into movies. He's like a money ticket.
What's
like,
the guy's name
without
who
him-
plays Loki? I
Wi-
forgot his name.
Oh,
He could have not have been in this movie. Also, I forget his name. I'll look him up right now. The guy that played. I think
Tracker.
the tracker.
Samuel L. Jackson's whole purpose
He's
in
the
this
guy who plays
movie
Loki.
is to add tension to the end.
No one.
That's
really
all it is.
familiar.
Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah, that guy. The entire goddamn movie. He acts like nothing. Never once was he scared or bothered by anything. And
Yeah.
I get his character's supposed to be like former Navy or military, or some shit,
SAS.
whatever. But it's like, dude, you just saw a goddamn 100-foot tall gorilla. You're not even fucking flinching. Like nothing panics you.
I get
Get
where
the
you're-
hell out
I
of
get
here.
why you're I get why you're bothered by that, and I understand that. But
Yeah, the whole time he's
I
like,
think-
I know everything.
I think this movie would have been better off with no Samuel L. Jackson, a different guy playing Tom Hiddleston's character. I think Tom Hiddleston's fine. I think he could have did it better, but I think if you had somebody that was like,
And the girl was pointless too, by the way.
Well, I did like how they didn't
Yeah,
kind
I wish
of
she died.
push the
Yeah, that would have been way more
King
entertaining.
Kong romance over the top. I'm glad they didn't do that.
yeah, I'm glad to. What you thought was that the girl, in the movie, you kind of feel like he was gonna start that weird King Kong romance with a girl, but it didn't start, and you're happy for it.
But it was kind of
That
weird
was
too
happy.
because there was something and it lasted 5 seconds, and after that,
Then Tom Hiddleston came in. He's like, "You're taken by
cock blocked.
cock blocked by man, cock blocked by
The
man.
one
Must
thing
go."
I did appreciate about this movie is that they gave more backstory as to the relationship between King Kong and the
Indigenous people.
Indigenous people, yes. So that was cool. I like that. I like this. I
And the
like where it
indigenous people
went.
weren't killers. That was nice.
Yeah, they're not killers, and the island is pretty cool. I think the animals on the island are pretty cool, but also pretty scary. I know Tommy didn't like the spiders.
Fuck that.
It's
That
kinda-
shit.
I was kind of bummed out they didn't have dinosaurs a little bit, but they did allude to
freaking
the
out.
fact that there used to be dinosaurs.
Yes.
So maybe around the World War II area, there was dinosaurs there. They was killed by the skull crawlers.
I mean, I hope they don't make a
I
prequel
don't
because they were
I-
talking about he had parents and then the parents got. I didn't understand this. How did the parents? There was like two of them get killed by the one
Maybe
goddamn
his parents
thing.
were good
There's only-
fighters.
The only two left. I don't know.
Maybe they're not good fighters. Maybe his dad was kind of a pussy.
You know one thing that did bother me though?
Just
This
saying.
King Kong was really
Or
smart.
mom.
Did you notice that?
Well, gorillas are smart.
No, but this one was like he made a goddamn weapon, man. He made like a shuriken chain thing.
That's-
Yeah, he took. Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, how does he even know how that
Yeah.
would
pulled
work?
out a tree?
He like
used his
stared
hand
at
to
it.
Get
No,
all the branches off.
there was-
and
there was-
stabbed and
Yeah. He made a spear, and then there was one point where he stared at the thing, and he just like looked at it like, I got an idea. I was like, what? You can't do that.
but
You
yeah,
have
Make a
no umbrella.
nunchuck out
But-
of this shit.
He should have just ripped the whole thing.
But
and
his
smashed it
brain
with
is
it.
probably the size of a car, so he got to be smart.
Not necessarily.
What about the
just-
fucking-
I'm just bothering
what
you.
about
I'm
the
just being
T-Rexes?
weird.
It's like just
Didn't,
make
like, a
think
T-Rex
of
have a
it
big brain?
if it was a
No,
giant
T-Rex had a
rock.
tiny brain.
Wasn't it as big as
Never
ours
let
though?
me talk.
For the size.
Sorry, Ellie, you can go.
That's
Sorry,
it. Now you guys
he
are
was.
having a conversation.
We were arguing about a brain, but yeah, T-Rex's brain was the size of ours, but it also was his head was probably the size of a car. But King Kong's
Not
brain,
much brain power though.
King Kong's brain is
Yeah.
probably the size of two
I'm
cars.
just saying the size
and
of
his head
the
is
size of the brain
a
doesn't
car.
mean that much.
I know it doesn't mean much. I was just being goofy. Ellie, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't know what I was saying.
Oh,
You said something about a rock?
Yeah, whatever. Just keep going.
Yeah, but I mean, personally, the King Kong that Peter Jackson made was cooler to me, mostly because the story
That movie lost me.
that movie had. I mean, it's been a while since I've seen.
I mean,
it,
I like
but
that movie. It's an epic. But
It had-
this is an over-the-top monster action
Yeah,
film.
it's a monster
and
action.
That's what they're shooting for with where this is going.
Yeah, this is going to be a Rock'em Sock'em.
That's what it feels like.
Monsters versus monsters in 2020.
Yeah, that's
They're
what
gonna
it feels
have
like.
Godzilla
and,
fight
and I
him.
am excited for that because I did love the visual effects and the sound design of the movie. That was great.
They just need to make a big wolf movie, and then they can do
So they can do Rampage
World Tour. If they make a big ass wolf, then we can do Rampage World Tour video game movie in 2022.
Be great.
It'd be
But-
so awesome.
But I am excited for if the mashup, and I really hope that there's less human characters and more just monsters fighting. And,
Yeah.
and there was a lot of just monster fighting in this movie. So hopefully, the new Godzilla movie with King Kong.
Or
that.
or they bring Godzilla, the Mecha Godzilla, the humans made.
I don't know. The last Godzilla was pretty sweet.
Well, the guys that made this. All right, am I confused?
The one that was released in 2000,
The last one,
not the
Which-
Japanese one,
which did like a. Oh no, I haven't even seen that one.
the
Shit.
2014 one, 2014 Godzilla.
Yeah,
the one that's huge. Who's
Yeah.
a giant.
Yeah.
What looks like the.
But that
looks
was a
like
good
the
one.
old.
I like that one.
Yeah, he looks like the old Godzilla. Like
I
the original.
liked it, but there's too much human stuff and not enough
Yeah.
Godzilla.
Yeah, again, there's a lot of
And they killed their best actor, which is dumb.
Yeah. Well, this one, I hopefully it just one that becomes a Rock'em Sock'em monster fight. Then it'll be fun.
Yeah, the human characters are so dumb, and it's like they're like walking, like they're in this
Not all
land.
of them.
I mean, dude, they were in a land that they don't know about, and they're like up to their chest in swamp water. Like, are you retarded?
See, this is the problem between when you watch movies and when the rest of the world watches movies. You're like a prepper, So they're like, why would you walk through the swamp water?
I
Why
actually
wouldn't
said that too.
I'm like, now you're gonna get hypothermia now.
See,
you don't have a change
like a
of
prepper
clothes.
would think.
There's something in that water.
Let the illusion
you don't know
of the
what's
movie take over. You're like breeding into it. It's like,
no, listen.
hey,
if
who
I
takes a poop on the woods?
Listen. If I saw 100-foot gorilla, chances are there's some gigantic other shit in the water.
Yeah, I know, but they're taking
Crocodile,
but you
even
think-
human-sized.
Didn't I tell you, William? It's like there's probably a crocodile in there, and it's like
It was freaking me out.
We don't know yet. But anyway, I think this movie is going to get the same rating as Logan did. It's going to get a 7.
Fuck no, it's getting a 3.
Yeah, from you. But for me, it's getting 7.
How could you give this the same rating?
Because it entertained me in the fighting aspect. I thought King Kong was a badass fighter. I thought him swatting out helicopters out of the sky was awesome. And I thought it was fun to watch. I thought that was a fun movie.
I really enjoyed seeing King Kong like analyze the situation. Like he would just walk up to a human, and he wouldn't necessarily hurt them. He was just like,
Yeah.
Well,
Judging
he's used to humans, remember? Because he was protecting all those other ones, so
Yeah.
you can probably.
I just really liked how they developed the character in that way.
I think he's cool. I think the character is fun to watch. It's going to be a good if they developed it better. Samuel Jackson out. Tom Hiddleston, he could have stayed, but if they swapped him for Dan, what's his name again? The guy who plays the 007 now, that would have been cool.
Daniel Craig
would have been cool because his character in
That would've
007
been
is a
cool.
little bit like more stoic, and it would have made more sense.
He was so good as a stormtrooper.
Yeah, he was. So that would have been cool. But at the end of the day, it was what it was. You didn't go in there thinking you're going to see like an awesome like storyline. You're like, I'm going to see a gorilla fight stuff. And he fought stuff, and it was fun. You can't tell me that you didn't find entertainment when he like fucking destroyed stuff.
No, that was fine, but that
Yeah.
was it.
Well, John C.
Everything else-
Reilly
everything
also
else-
propped this movie up. John C. Reilly deserves a lot more help, and they had a great credit scene that was fun to watch.
Yeah.
Oh
So
yeah,
that was it.
No, I was worried this movie was going to be too goofy with John C. Reilly. It's like, oh, isn't King Kong supposed to be a little serious? But he was with all the other silliness in the movie.
I
he was
feel
one
like-
of the like okay parts.
I feel like they spent way too much time with the military, and they should have spent more time with the environment.
We'll see what happens. But what's your rating?
I give it a 3 out of 10.
So 3 out of 10. Will.
wow, that's sad.
Yeah, that was.
3
That's
is really low.
that's really low.
So you got like these extremes. You go from one extreme to like the
no,
other extreme.
no, it's just
There's no middle ground for you.
Listen, the moment it ended, I said, "Wow, fuck this! I'm never gonna watch
7?
this again." Well, what do you give it?
It's hard. 6.5 or 7. I guess leaning higher towards the 7 because I did really enjoy it. Like, I didn't love it, but I enjoyed it, and it gave me a flashback to my nostalgia
Of the shaking
of
gorilla,
the
not the 3D gorilla,
Universal Godzilla, not the 3D spit in your face Godzilla.
or spray
God,
water.
that thing spits so much.
And Ellie,
Ellie,
Wait, did you say the rating?
So just 7 out of 10. Been out of breath. Kongs.
Wow.
yeah, I kind of wish that King Kong took a dump in this movie. Was that weird?
Oh, that'd been nice.
just so
That would've
What?
The tone of the movie would
It
allow.
would have been it would have been really funny if he
Took a
went.
shit and it killed
Listen,
somebody?
if he bent over and he was taking a dump, and it didn't kill anybody, but like it landed where they were camping.
What would have been even more fun
If it
is
landed on
if
somebody
John
who's
C. Reilly was like, "Oh, we live for this," and he goes and runs to it and he like eats something out of it, and that's like where they get some of their nutrition from.
Okay, stop.
It's really
stop. All right,
Will's into some scat stuff. I'm not into this.
somebody pull the plug, please.
It would have been cool if he's like, "Oh, that makes great fuel for this," you
Yes.
know.
Or
Yeah,
something.
stop.
Yeah.
Something. Some sort
Stop.
of use.
All right.
I mean, maybe eating was a little over the top,
Okay.
but some sort of use.
Stop.
Well, went
Please.
straight to eating poop.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Ellie.
Ellie, please.
The most important rating.
Well, you see, I actually would compare this movie to like The Mummy. It reminded me of like that adventure and comedy, and it was not as great as The Mummy. 'cause
The
it was,
recent
like-
Mummy, right? Not the one with Tom. Yeah.
No, not the one that's coming out. The other ones, the one that has 3 of them.
What?
Dude, you don't see it?
No, hell no.
I can
Okay.
see what you're saying. I can see what
Okay.
you're saying.
This one reminds me of Jurassic Park 3.
It's
They
like-
showed up, shit happened, they're like, get the fuck out of here, and that's it.
No, I agree. I agree with
Yeah.
you. I agree with
You
you
don't
because
see
it's.
the comedy portion of it?
I see what you're saying.
I mean, yeah,
I
for
can
the one
see it really
couple
close.
moments,
yeah.
but
There's like it's a certain genre. It's like it's not everyone. You thought it was ridiculous. You hated it. It's like,
yeah.
did you like the Mummy though?
Yeah, I love the Mummy.
Okay,
That's
well
why
I guess
don't-
there
that's
was
what-
enough comedy for you to detect that, but I don't know.
I-
If they went for the more silly, then maybe.
I get what you're saying though, because it was like in the Mummy, it would get scary, right?
Yeah.
But then a comedy scene would come and you like relax.
Yeah, and then you'll
Yeah.
laugh. Like I remember laughing a few
Yeah,
times.
but then in the serious scenes, it
King
wasn't even
Kong.
serious. It was like so stupid.
Wait,
In this
which one
King
is-
Kong,
when it was serious. Oh, okay.
in the serious scenes,
Like when he
it
went
was
serious,
stupid.
it was stupid.
Yeah, like there's a serious scene in Samuel Jackson's all like, nah, fuck you, and then it was so dumb. I was like, fuck out of here.
Okay, I
He
think
went,
maybe,
"Marr."
maybe with the few bad casting calls, if that was replaced.
A
and
few,
then-
the whole goddamn crew.
No,
had
I
to
don't.
go.
I don't think Samuel Jackson is a bad actor. I
no,
think
it's
He's
just,
not. He's a
it's
great
not
actor.
for
they
that
built
part.
They made him
they
bad.
built him to be. They're like be like what's that guy from the Avengers? Be like him, but have a vengeance.
They should have made him say, "I'm tired of these
Motherfucking gorillas.
these monkey fighting gorillas on this Monday to Friday island." or
Helicopter
something."
flight. Helicopter flight. Helicopter. I'm tired of these monkey fighting helicopters in this Monday to Friday route.
Oh no, but you could tell this whole movie is over the top. I mean, there was
Yeah.
scenes with Samuel L. Jackson, and he had his reflection glasses.
And you wanna talk
you could see
useless?
Flame and Godzilla in it, and he would zoom in on him with all this other shit going around. It was ridiculous.
And you're talking about useless shit. Like, how about the whole shit with that guy writing to his son, and then only to like not be able to do it?
Yeah, well, that happens. That happens in
It
life.
was
shit
so
happens.
stupid.
But we didn't get your rating, Ellie.
Oh yeah. Well, anyways, I actually enjoyed it. I like those kind of movies. The right kind of comedy for me is that adventure mix to it and weirdness and just giant creatures and animals and forests and a rainforest and
What was your favorite creature? The spider?
the skull. What was it?
The skull crawlers?
Yeah, skull crawlers.
Oh, I thought that spider was
I
pretty.
have
Just
a
kidding, they're
question.
stupid.
Since you have like a degree in graphical design, what do you think about the graphics?
I went to film school. They weren't bad. They were not bad at all. They're well done. Even the animation, I was surprised. It's like with those very sharp moves certain creatures did. It was pretty well done. So no complaints on that. And then even the little like you know what, the one thing that really bothered me is the photographer did not know how to take pictures. I understand
yeah.
it was an old
She didn't make
camera
them
and it was black and white and stuff, but those snapshots were like, it was cringing, like it was ooh.
These are some bad shots.
Some bad composition there.
She's
that was
an anti-war
horrible.
photographer.
She's a Pulitzer Prize almost winner.
Yeah, but
What is your rating?
7.5.
Shit. It's bothering me. I'm like, what? Just tell me the rating.
Okay, this is going to get a
so much
6.12. So much lower than Logan did. Logan did a lot better.
Goddamn right. All
Well,
right.
it's because you either go one side
10 or 2.
10 or complete shit. I don't give a crap.
There's no in between, baby. 0 to 100. And moving on.
Listener confession of the week.
All right. So we got a listener confession, and we got a tweet from Lee Gao1, who tweeted us, "When I was 5, I pushed the dog down the stairs and blamed it on the cat. Is this how it works?"
Hey, people that abuse kids as children, they grow up to be serial killers. So relax. I don't know what happened.
That is rude.
It was a
I
joke,
think-
Ellie.
I think, I mean, yeah, that is a confession.
No, I mean,
But
it's
it's
rude.
not a-
The confession's rude, and it's. I'm just kidding. I don't care.
No, I mean, it's a confession, but not really a nerdy confession.
It's
I
more like a
guess.
serial killer confession.
the start of a serial killer, right? It's always the ones that
birth
harm
of a
the
serial killer.
animals.
This guy's like straight up like, yeah, I pushed the dog downstairs and I blamed it on the cat. Like what? Like a cat could do that. B to the S.
People in England better watch out. This guy's in Britain.
Jack the Ripper Part 2.
Oh, Jack the Ripper in the making.
So yeah,
no.
Unless your cat's a Persian cat, it's not gonna happen. Persian cats are freaking crazy against dogs, but that's all I know.
Well, what kind of dog was it? I mean, if you blame him on the cat,
A English bulldog.
it
Those tiny
Oh,
little.
Must have
little
been
tiny
like
little
even
ones?
a puppy. You
No,
are
it's a-
a
it's a
horrible
chihuahua.
human.
shove the chihuahua down the stairs.
Straight up, who pushed some downstairs?
Well, he
Like a live thing.
Look, he did
laughs
also,
about it.
Look, but listen, but he did say when I was 5. It's not like, oh yeah, when I
Dude,
was
knew-
35,
listen,
I kicked the dog.
Listen,
But that's a.
when I
child.
was 5 years old, I knew I didn't hurt things that were alive. I didn't kick a
Yeah.
dog. I didn't throw anything downstairs. I didn't do that
How
stuff.
do you know? I can't even remember when I was 5.
The most I did is torture.
you can't
roly
remember
polies.
yesterday.
You can't even remember. Yes, you can't even remember what you did this morning.
What did I do this
You
morning?
said I went to sleep for 10 hours. That's it.
Dog.
Oh, yeah, that's true. God, that was so good. Anyway, if you would like to send us your confession, you can email us at contact@nerdconfessions.net or send us a tweet to @nerdconfessions with the number 0 replacing the O's because somebody else has our damn thing.
Thanks, guys.
For stealing it.
I like how you said for stealing it.
Well, that wraps up this week's confession. Join us next week for more discussions and opinions on things that pique our interest. If you have any confessions you would like us to discuss, feel free to send it our way. As always, we want to thank our listeners and followers for tuning in and supporting us. Share us, like us, review us, subscribe to our YouTube channel, whatever you want to do. Every bit helps us grow. And don't forget, you can find our previous episodes and bonus content on our website, nerdconfessions.net. This is Nerd Confessions, signing off.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Have a lovely day.
Bye, everybody. Don't watch King Kong, it was horrible. Watch
watching
Logan.
you.
Listen, watch it.
Watch
It's
Logan.
okay.
It's 10 out of 10.
Don't push puppies.
10 out of 10, baby.
Listen to me. If you push a puppy, bad days.
Logging out of Nerd Confessions. Connections terminated. Transmission over.
Hello.
That was a whoop.